everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one I'm going to get beat up on this one, so don't take it personal. All right, it's called Women Can't Live with Them. Period. Oh my goodness. Look. Okay, look. A woman is more emotional. She's more prone to argue and pick fights with you because of emotion. Emotion is rewarding to them. And a man, don't give it to him. Don't give it to him. Don't give it back to him. So it's like a man most of the time don't want to argue. Okay, they don't like it. They would rather go into their man cave and chill or something. If you start screaming and acting a fool and stuff, you'll bring yourself down to their level. If your woman starts in on you, just say, okay, and then go on off and do what you was doing at first. See, don't feed into that arguing and stuff like that. Because you become more like them then, like a woman. If you quit to argue with them, you becoming like a woman. Yeah. Don't get into a shouting matches and stuff like that, because it only brings attention. Okay, it brings you attention, right? And y'all know what happens if a cop get involved. Okay, if somebody call the police on you, all she has to say is you pushed her or something like that, and what would happen? Yes, you'll be labeled as a woman beater. Okay, you know. Look, arguing makes both of y'all say things that you don't mean. You know, makes you say things that you don't mean. It could quickly break you up, and it can make lifetime enemies out of y'all. Sometimes you can't avoid little spats and stuff like that. Little spats that go around, but you can't avoid spats. Okay, but you but work them out. Work them out and move on. Okay, move on. And if you got kids, they can hear y'all, can't you? Don't you? They can hear y'all. And they're just gonna choose a side. Mostly they're gonna choose their mom's side, all right? They're gonna choose their mama's side. So whatever they hear her saying, because she's more louder than you. She's more louder. She's louder than you. So they're gonna key in on her, and that can break stuff up too, man. And kids are like sponges too. They soak up everything they hear, and then they'll go repeat it. The next thing you know, your grandmama or mama will come to you and say, boy, now I heard what happened to you. I heard what happened over there. What you doing? You going around here with these gals or something like that? You going around messing with these gals out here? And you ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing. Look, if you think your significant other is cheating, if you think they're cheating, okay, think about it first. If they were cheating, what evidence do you have? I'll hold. What evidence do you have? Okay? Nothing, right? You don't have no evidence like that. Or maybe you're just self-conscious, okay? Maybe you're self-conscious about it, I don't know, man. So think before you respond. And don't say nothing that you will regret later, okay? All right? Because, man was Man was put on this earth to be with a woman, okay? And women were put on earth to be with a man, okay? So you need to stop the arguing. Stop arguing, And don't accuse nobody of nothing if you don't have evidence on it, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the number one reason people break up, because of somebody accusing someone of something. And then later on, after that, after you break up and everything, then you find out it wasn't true. Okay? So, y'all stop this arguing. Get over there, get over there. Stop. Stop arguing. That's enough. Go and sit down. Okay? Right. All right. Yeah. All right, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos with your loved ones. Share with your family. Share with your friends. And even share with your enemies. Right. Adios. Salamit.
Salamat po.
Don't start nothing.
You want to start it. You started it. You started it. You keep talking about it. You keep starting it. Stop it. You start it. Stop it.